Thank you so much for joining us on the program. Now, we're hearing the UN voicing their support for the GNA, especially in carrying out a probe here. What kind of support can we expect from them?
Well, a lot of technical support is needed. This is a gruesome discovery, and the problem is that we are seeing more and more of these gruesome discoveries every day. This is not the first time that we have seen mass graves. Tarhuna, as you said, was the stronghold of Haftar's militias that were attacking Tripoli. It's about 50, 60 kilometers away from Tripoli. When Tarhuna was taken over by the GNA forces, the Grad missile attacks on Tripoli stopped. Unfortunately, previous to that, the United Nations and a lot of Haftar's backers, including countries in the West, were basically calling for just a ceasefire. The government in Tripoli kept saying that these are terrorists and they needed to be defeated. And now that they have been defeated, we are discovering more and more. Let's not forget, of course, that there are mines in people's homes in southern Tripoli. They are killing dozens every day. Today, a woman was killed and her son was killed. The United Nations needs to provide investigators and also needs to provide a mechanism to finally hold Haftar to account. For 6 years, we have been seeing crime after crime, terror after terror, especially in East Libya. Now, don't forget that East Libya is still under Haftar's control, and we are aware of hundreds of people who have gone missing in Derna and Benghazi. We are very worried that they may have suffered the same fate as those who have been found in the mass graves in Tarhuna.
Well, Ahmed, Turkey's Foreign Minister Mevlut Çavuşoğlu is set to meet the Russian Foreign Minister and Defense Minister on Sunday. And we're surely expecting Russia, who supports Haftar and his illegal militia, to try and convince the Turkish-backed GNA to put a ceasefire into place. How do you think that's going to go?
Sorry, who's trying to convince the GNA to put a ceasefire in place?
Well, the Russian-backed LNA, which is Haftar's illegal militia, called for a ceasefire through Egypt recently, as we heard. And tomorrow, on Sunday, Turkish Foreign Minister Mevlut Çavuşoğlu and the Russian Foreign Minister, along with the Defense Minister, is expected to meet. And a ceasefire is expected to be at the top of the agenda. How do you think that's going to go?
Well, for 6 years, the GNA and the people of Libya have called for a ceasefire. There have been at least 8 attempts for a ceasefire. Haftar kept backtracking and basically not agreeing to any ceasefire at all, kept his assault going on until he nearly took Tripoli with Russian help. Now that he is being defeated, and now we're finding the evidence of these gruesome crimes, it is not time for Haftar to be given leeway to regroup and form more of his terrorists and recruit more terrorists from around the world to come and massacre people in Libya. What I understand from the fighters on the ground is that they want to finish this for once and for all, for Libya to become a free democratic country where we can hold elections, we can have peace, and we don't have, renegade generals like Haftar trying to take power by force. What the international community needs to do is to put pressure on the Eastern government, which is, of course, an illegitimate government, to hand over Haftar, for him to be tried, and for him to face the consequences of what he has done in Libya. Now, let's not forget that Haftar does not represent the east of Libya. There are hundreds of people who have been elected in the municipalities and in the parliament of East Libya. They're the ones who we can talk to, for peace, for a ceasefire. But Haftar should not be involved. He needs to be in front of the International Criminal Court.
All right, Ahmed Sewehli, thank you so much for giving us that analysis.